Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Founders Opinion, and it's really great to have you guys here. So today, we're going to be talking about validating ideas through email marketing, right? We're taking this from our Building Product series, and let me just take a quick recap. Um, if you're just watching us today and just joining us live. So last week we came in here and we talked about validating startup ideas, right? And then while we were talking about validating startup ideas, I had sent people here, um, and we discussed this, right? We had some questions from community members, questions that community members have asked, and we wanted to provide solution too. So I had sent here with me. By the way, Zach is still going to join us here, but I'm just going to be just start with a recap while we wait for them to join in. So, like I said, we talked about validating sort of ideas, and we also mentioned that we're going to be using our dev shop as a practical product, right? And what is a dev shop? A dev shop is basically a it's a dev shop basically where we provide engineers or founders with technical support. So if you found any technical support, you need help with creating your website, you need help with updating your website, you need help with everything technical, right? Dev shop has just the right guys for that. So that's what we're going to be using for our video public series. And the first thing we talked about was finding the sort of ideas, and we had a few conversation, a few questions that came in, and since we came up with a task, right? What actually question we had different ideas in between, right? And since mentioned how one of the best ways to validate through emailing, right? Sending out emails. You can do the third party that get to major the third party by validation, and then the one that you have to do inward, which he mentioned that for you to even validate your ideas, you also have to look inward, introspect, and see that you do really do this idea before even think of running help to anybody. Right? And while we were discussing third party validation, we got to a point where we were one of the best ways to do third party validation is to actually reach out to people, right? And ask people questions. And so that was how we were able to come up with our task of the week, which is cold emails, sending out emails to people to validate our ideas. And yes, we discussed that, sending out emails to people to validate our ideas, and then we came up with an idea for email marketing, right? And we did mention that along the line, while we are going to be doing this practical, we are going to be giving you feedback, which is we're going to be telling you what we did, taking you through our steps, and making sure that you have all the information you need. And we also talk about, we also invited founders with products. So if you have a real product and you want to learn or you want to figure out how to get that product validated, the idea validated and get that product on the market, this beautiful experience is also for you, right? So I hope I've been able to give you a recap. That was a recap of what we talked about last week. And we're just going to keep talking about it now. I hope we now have all of these ideas on speed, right? So now, giving you the recap, while we yeah, something to be having sent here for today again because since it's is is basically the one is yes, what is teams send out cold emails no decision right yet, and we're just waiting for him to come on here and give us feedback. The feedback is for us to tell us feedback he thoughts and tell us what he's on. Right. So that's basically what we have. Right. So let's just wait for this like time to like can you give us all these things again. Watson. Um so while we are waiting for resistance to come in, um yeah, I will recap talk about what we've been working on. Yeah. So I'm just let me just talk us through like some of um the things that matter. Okay, yeah. So one thing about validating ideas during marketing, right? One of the things and mistakes is I would also like to give it these insights into that because I've also worked in a team of bookings and sending out emails and outreach basically. So looks like I have sent here already. Without wasting time, I'm just going to bring him up now and add him to stage. Yay! Okay, so hi, friend. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. How's it going?
It's going well. I've been basically just catching everybody up to speed. I already did a recap of what we talked about last week and kind of ease them into what we're going to be talking about today. So yeah, you have the floor.
Okay, give me a second. I'm trying to set up a different microphone. And can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Yes. All right. So what we did last week. So last week we talked about the dev shop, and it was primarily to answer a specific question. When you have an idea, how do you go to markets? Like when you have an idea, what's the best way to go to market? And there are a few questions that came up that I wanted to answer. So what we decided to do is to so what we decided to do is to um, what do they call it? Give me a second. I just got a message that have turned me around a bit. So what we've decided to do is to send messages, and we did. So with a dev shop, we want to create a dev shop, and I'll use the dev shop and I'll use two other examples because within last week we ran three campaigns. So we'll just use all of those examples. What we want to do. The first thing we did was to figure out who we wanted to talk to. Right. So the dev shop was meant to help people. The dev shop was meant to help people get access to engineering talent to build their ideas. Who are the people who are going to most likely need engineering talent to build their ideas? Well, there are two different, there are multiple people. Right? The first group is people who are working full time on something and want to have something on the side. Right? So they have this idea in their head, they don't have the time to build it out, or they don't have the technical know how to actually build it out, so they want to run it on the side. They need somebody to help them. The second is teams that are focused at a particular deliverable. All right, maybe an engineering team that has something specific they're trying to get done in the quarter, and they just did not know, and then they just don't have the talent to they don't have the bandwidth to do something else that needs to push another opportunity. And so the team decides to bring on a contractor or a freelancer to do that, right? So those are the two sets of people that we zoomed in. And of course, there are multiple other people that could want to hire freelancers or contractors. But the question is, but for us, it was really around who can we identify, right? So we zoomed in on those two groups. So let's go a bit.
Okay, Send. I don't know if you could hear me, but we lost your sound. Yes, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you still hear me now? This should
Yes.
work now. Okay, great. So as I was saying, so zoomed in on the first group of people. So if we have a person who wants to build a tool, what kind of person would that likely be? So it's going to be, the first thing is the financial qualifier. It's going to be a person who can afford it, right? Because of course you want to talk to. We're not saying that these people are going to be the only type of people that they can build, but the kind of people that we want to target is who we're trying to zoom into. So the first person should be able to afford it. So with that, we look at the earning capability. And with earning capability, that means we listed out the kind of jobs the person should be doing to likely be earning a particular amount of money. Again, this is not going to be totalitarian. It's not going to mean that people outside these brackets do not qualify. It's just the people we can identify. All right, so we zoomed in on people who are working in STEM already, people who are working in engineering, who of course are earning well and I don't have the time to build their own stuff. People who are working as product managers, as sales managers, all right, people who are earning enough to just build their own stuff. So we wrote that list down. Now we looked into that list further and said, okay, within these people, what people can conceptualize and build their own stuff? And again, looked at the list again. So there was engineers, as product managers, as sales managers, those real estate people. And we agreed that, you know what, like, let's keep people in real estate first, just because they can do their job. Technology is not holding them from doing their job at all. And with real estate, is hit or miss. That means they could be earning a lot more than enough, or they might not be. So we don't know for sure. Same thing, sales managers, they could be really well off, or they might not be. We don't know for sure. So we decided to leave it primarily between product managers, engineers, and then last reservoir sales managers. So we looked at those first two set of people again. Within engineers and product managers, who are people who will most likely bring another person on. And engineers, for the most part, they can, right? It's just that they can also build it. So the chances they're going to want to bring somebody in is there. There are lots of people who actually, because they don't have the time. But if you now look at people who have stayed within engineering for a while, that's 7 years plus, there's engineering managers, CTOs, and the rest. Yes, then you start to see people a bit more, or people who can, because A, they earn enough, and B, they understand engineering enough to know what you're doing, but they also don't want to start building a new projects for the most time. The people that built a lot of things and they're fine with allowing somebody else, so we signal them. And then also people we signal is product managers with 7 years plus of experience, 7 years plus experience, who have done project management for a bit. Now they have strong opinions about what they want to build. right? So those are the people that form the top of our list. So we then used Apollo to segment those people, and I started sending them messages. We're still getting responses from the messages, so I can't speak to the results right now. So that campaign is still going. Hopefully next time on Monday, I'll let you know how that went. We did the same thing for, or we're doing the same thing for two more internal products, and I think by next week Monday we'll see how what we're doing. But so far, what has made the major difference is in the type of messaging, and I think we should take out a day or something to talk about like how to send cold emails, because I think it's an important skill. But for now, we're just still on trying to make sure that we get at least one somebody who loves us enough to interview, right? So by next month, sorry, by next week Monday, we'll have that. Yeah. So unfortunately for us, Jimmy, I don't have an awesome updates because we don't have anybody that's beaten yet. But the bait is on the water, the hook is bobbing, and we'll see who bites. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you your for all of the updates. I think it was really good. From your updates, is it safe to say that email marketing or sending and cold emailing um, should be observed for more than 1 week, right? Like, is there like, I know there's no specific timeline to these things, all right? From like your observation and results, is it safe to say that 1 week is not enough to like really gather like results? Should the campaign run for like at least a month? Should it run for like at least a week? So that I'm asking because I'm sure we have like a couple of people joining us on this journey and trying to also try out this email and cold email marketing, right? So the question is it safe to say 1 week is not enough to actually grasp the how effective this campaign is going to be?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. If the length of the campaign, I think people look at campaigns in totality. Oh, we've gotten the messaging right. We can start throwing out stuff and then seeing what stands on the wall. The truth is that we approach campaigns as you would approach any other experiment. You can't have all the answers at the beginning. That's a lie. It's never going to happen. No matter how well you plan. Okay, sometimes you might have the jackpot and you have the right messaging right at the door, but it doesn't happen very often, even to the best and most experienced of marketers. What typically happens is that you put out some filler messages first, see what works, and then based off the responses you're getting, you keep tweaking the messaging, and that could happen anywhere from a week to 3 months, right? Depending on how the kind of response you get. And sometimes you don't even get a good enough response until somebody starts working with you. All right, that's when you sit down and person then tells you, "Oh, by the way, I actually love this, 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 and this." But one of the questions I really like to ask in my first few interactions with the person who responded to quote email is like, why did you like that message? So what exactly struck you? And then they say, oh, it was this. It's not because I'm going to take that thing and then go make it the main thing. I'm trying to see what the incentives are, what exactly is the need that person wants to feel, right? So that I'll see if that same need is permits through people that look like that person. And if in this message right now that we're sending, a product manager responds, I set up a call with her. And I asked her what you love, and she said, "Oh, like I like the fact that your previous projects guys they were verifiable." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And maybe the next set of messages that go to product managers specifically, for a few of them, I might just add make the verifiable links like one of the first things, right? And I see if that changes the response rates at all, right? Because whatever you're changing, you're looking at the metrics for success. And I mean, the biggest metric for success at the beginning is really open rates, right? And response rates. That's all. People need to open it first before they even look at whatever it is you're offering. And then people need to respond to for anything to happen. So those are the two main, and so I'm just changing the messaging based on the response. I want to see if I'm able to go around and get something that works or a number that's high enough for the open rates and response rates.
All right, thank you very much. That's like that. That was really good. Um, yeah, I hope if you're watching, I hope you've been able to, get the answers you're looking for, right? And also, we'll be rolling out more information on our social media and those. So please go check us out on social media: Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Just going to put up our social media. Okay, so before I do that, let's talk about signing up first. So to join our community, you can just um, type ETF's community into your browser and it takes you to our landing page. You can join our community. We have a community of like technical founders and some professionals also. Right, so if you join the community, you're going to be getting first-hand information on all the results that we're getting through our Build in Public initiative, and we're going to be getting. If you need like extra one-on-ones, if you've been trying out some of our ideas and you want one-on-ones on clarity, how to go about it, or you have results and you just need to discuss with someone, right? Join our community and request for a one-on-one. We're definitely available for you. And also our social media, you can follow us on Instagram underscore ETF community, and on Twitter and LinkedIn, and even on YouTube, we are at ETF community. Um, so yes, follow us on social media because we'll also be rolling out our results. We'll be talking about like building in public generally, so you don't want to miss that. And also, we're having our startups fair on the 26th of October, which is happening this Saturday. It's happening on the 26th of October. So if you also do work this out, right, you want to come, um, we'll be having, we are still going to be on validating sort of ideas, right? Like I mentioned, our theme for the month at ACF is validating sort of ideas. So if you have questions around that, if you have a sort of idea that you want to validate, um, the startup space is the right place for you because you're going to be meeting a lot of professionals, meeting a lot of founders like you that you can sit down, have a chat with. And who knows, you might even find like partners like for that idea they're just trying to validate. So you don't want to miss our startup fair. It's happening at Sao Cafe. Let me see if I yeah, basically check out social media. You're going to find like all the details you need for us on Oxford. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram at underscore ETF community, on Twitter ETF community, and on other social media platforms at ETF community. So said you have anything to like, last words, advice for whoever is watching
No,
regarding
thank you
like
very much
validating
for
their
this
ideas.
time. No, no, thank you very much for this time. Let's see again next week. All right.
All right. Okay. Bye everyone.